Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR and main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog, Discord server, Mimi group, Facebook group, Twittering, Instagram. Oh, and don't forget Torchlight Zine. Yes, it is out. I think we've dropped to number 2 in the small press, number 7 or 8 under $5, but still, it's doing well. Go to tenkarstavern.com and check the blog post from, I guess, July 28th or 29th and find the code to get it at half price. Get it for $1, not the normal $2. All right. So, in the course of doing Torchlight, I was complaining about how I had to, for some of the material that was up on the blog initially, I had to copy it, drop it into Word to remove the formatting because my blog is a dark blog, and then from there put it into Pages. Well, Tim called, left a message, and good instructions on how to use Pages and avoid my issues. So we're going to step away and listen to Tim for a second.
Hey, Eric, this is Tim. I'm a few days behind on your podcast, and I heard you talking about copying and pasting from web pages to Apple Pages for the Mac, and the difficulty you had when, essentially copying from a dark theme blog to Pages, and somehow Pages is magically retaining the look and feel of your blog. That is because Apple Pages is HTML aware, and when you copy from a website or otherwise, it will try to retain that HTML look and feel, from the font, if it's available, to the background color and the font color itself. You can correct that. There's a keyboard shortcut which escapes me right now, but there is a file or edit menu option called paste and match style. So what that will do is you can paste whatever you have copied from your website, and it will match the style that you currently have set on your document, and voila, you've copy and pasted from your website into the Pages document without going through that, what sounded like torture to me, pasting the word and then pasting it back into Pages itself. Don't do that. Try paste and match style in the edit menu on Pages. Hope this helps. Take care. Bye.
Well, Tim, thank you for the instructions. I shall put that to use next time, which actually is coming up sooner than later, because the premiere issue of Torchlight is doing well, but work now commences on issue 1, which we're hoping to get out before the summer is over, which gives us until what, the middle of September? So that should be fun. Now, earlier this week, I had a voicemail and I talked about Tunnels and Trolls and how the earlier editions, the reprints, they were changing certain spell names. Well, Ken St. Andre reached out to me, and I'm going to pretty much paraphrase what Ken sent me via PM. So, what happened is that Steve Crompton, who's pretty much running Flying Buffalo these days, what with Rick Loomis passing. And he's apparently the only one that can actually get in there and change the PDFs, which I'll be honest with you, that is a skill and a talent that's needed. So Steve mentioned that he wanted to change the offensively named spell Yasumasa to a baby. Actually, Ken would have preferred just to have the spell removed in total, because in Kent's opinion, it's not really a spell that's used too often in games that he plays with or plays in, and he didn't think it would change the game much at all to remove it. You know, 5 or 10. Uh, Ken said that when he, initially named the spell, he uh, he was naming a lot of spells with what he thought at the time were humorous names. Oh, was it like the healing spell was like poor baby, right? Uh, isn't there another one, Zap? Uh, I remember that with the Corgi prints of fifth edition, where they did the double solos and the abridged version of the rules, they changed the sillier names to more serious names. I guess the country that gave us Benny Hill couldn't handle, well, poor baby for a spell. But Ken was not thinking seriously, and maybe again, maybe it's a product of the time, but he didn't see it in the way that's being seen these days. Now, in retrospect, my first experience with Tunnels and Trolls was in high school. One of my friends, Andrew, he loved Tunnels and Trolls. Big, huge fan of it. And I'll admit that in high school, didn't impress me. Not at all. And it wasn't the silly spell names. Those names didn't phase me at all. They were whatever. And I'll be honest, when I found Tunnels and Trolls as an adult, I I don't even think that I found Yes I'm not necessarily offensive. I just thought it was a really stupid spell name. It wasn't. I guess I had to step back from it to look at it differently. And again, I personally don't have an issue with going back and changing the name of the spell or even deleting it completely. But I do believe that the idea of putting a footnote in the PDFs, which I believe is what Steve is going to be doing, um, is the ideal solution in this case. To acknowledge the fact that some things may have been changed because they offend people, and that's fine to change things to make sure that people that could be or would be offended aren't going to be offended. I and again, I've been told it's my privilege to be offended that it was changed. Well, you know, it's I was a history major. My BA is in history. It qualified me for nothing but teaching, and I guess getting promoted as a cop. But I have a real appreciation for history, good or bad, and I like to acknowledge what was there. It's like if you're playing a war game and you don't have the Nazi flag or the Nazi insignia on units that would have had it, it's less authentic. Unless you're explaining it away. Listen, we acknowledge that the swastika would only be in these units, but we are not including such so as to not offend victim survivors and their offspring of the Holocaust. Okay. You gave an explanation. It's not pretending it didn't happen. It's acknowledging that it was there, and this is why we're not doing it. So I think that the footnote is the ideal solution. On that note, folks, I think it's covered. I really do. Um, I am not a medical professional. So in the midst of this pandemic, COVID-19, I'm going to suggest that you take actions, take precautions that keep yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your community safe. Okay, if you need guidance, seek a medical professional to give you such guidance. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, and folks, I feel truly blessed at the age of 53 to be here to talk with you all and to thank you all for the support you've given me over the years, whether it's through the blog or through the podcast. Seriously, thank you. All right, folks. On that note, I'm out of here. Mananas.